Hey, what you doing today? I'm Danielle with Homestead Love, and stick around today. I got some fun stuff going on. We're still giving love back to this homestead, but today we're going to do something just a little different. So, I have been working on perfecting something lately, and it's sourdough starter, okay? I wanted to learn how to make a bread with the most simple ingredients, just flour and water. And yeah, basically, I want to learn how to make a sourdough starter. So I jumped into it this summer. I, good grief, I don't even know how many I went through where I forgot to feed them, where something just went wrong, where it just didn't seem quite right. And, if you even question it, you're going to throw it out and start over. It's not that big of a deal. It's flour and water. Well, this is probably number 5, and this is my I don't even remember, second or third time making bread with my sourdough starter. And I think it's the second time. The first time I made the bread, I put it in the oven and I forgot about it. I let it rise overnight, popped her in the oven. We were getting ready to go over to somebody's place, so we're running around the house and I'm getting all the things done, get myself ready, get the kids ready, packing in all their stuff, doing all the things that moms do. Anyways, um, and I forgot about it. And I was like, I worked so hard to make that starter and it turned out perfect and the bread rised perfectly. And now I have burnt bread or bread that is on the outside hard as a rock. I ended up, when we got back home that night, I cut it open and I tried the inside of it, which is it was soft, fluffy, and it was yummy. So the only thing it was missing was salt. I didn't put salt in that time. I literally wanted to try to do it with just flour and water, and I was like, this is not going to fly. Like, it's too bland. My kids are not going to eat this. There's no way. So I added in a little salt to today's loaves. But yeah, I wanted a little background on that for you guys. Like this is one of those things towards working to be more self-sufficient, making my own bread, that I know what's going into it, that I know there's not a whole bunch of additives or preservatives in there. I can control what goes into it, whether I put sugar in it or not, all those little things. And those are things that are important to me. So to be able to take charge and say, nope, I'm not buying your store-bought bread anymore, or at least limiting how much store-bought bread we're buying. To me, that's, it's the little things. It's the little things around here that make a difference, on any homestead, you're striving to do things the best to the best of your knowledge. I really would love at some point to get some animals, but right now we are not prepared for that at all. But just small, like quail or rabbits or something like that. That is something that I want to do, is to raise meat rabbits and quail in the backyard so that I have eggs and meat. um, and I know you can have chickens in town here within city limits, but you have to get permission from your neighbors because they are noisy. So, I honestly, I don't think that my neighbors particularly would care. With Aside from the ones that are directly behind, they might care. But the ones that are on either side of me, I know that they would be like, no, you do what you want to do. And that's the great part about living in a farming state. But so I'm pretty sure quails, since they're in a cage, and rabbits are the same. That that would be okay. So yeah, that is something that I will eventually work into. I'm not ready right now, like I say. Like, I want to have cages. I want to have everything set up and ready to go, and I want to decide whether I'm going to do like a tractor, like a rabbit tractor type thing that I move around the yard, or how I want to do it. I don't have a huge yard to move them around a whole lot, but I still could move them around and keep replenishing the soil. So these are just a few random thoughts in my head, obviously. But thanks for listening. And I will catch you when the bread is done in the morning. I'll check in with you when after it's done rising, and then we'll pop her in the oven, and I'll check in with you after that too. Hey guys, so this is my second attempt at sourdough. I made my own starter with 2 ingredients. And last time, the bread dough was fine. It rose all really well. It did all the stuff it needed to do. But my dumb butt left my bread in the oven and forgot about it. So it cooked for like 2 hours and it was hard as a rock. But I did break it open and taste the inside of it, and it tasted good and it looked great. It was super fluffy. It wasn't like a hard brick. It wasn't like a brick, a ton of bricks or whatever. It was on the outside because it burnt, but the rest of it was fine. So yeah, here's my next attempt, and I'm also doing some cinnamon bread. So we'll see how that turns out. We're gonna let it rise overnight and see how it goes. But let's have a peek at my starter too. It took 6 days total, and I keep it back here. This is the fridge right here, and it's super warm, so it seems like it's the perfect temperature. In the warmer weather, it was taking 3 days to brew my starter, but now it's between 5 and 7 days. It just depends. And I just use flour and water, half flour, half water, and then I feed it twice a day. So, yeah, pretty simple ingredients and all that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. And I'll check back with you when they come out of the oven. Okay, so I forgot to check in with y'all before I put them in because I was a little disturbed this morning when I got up. I made another mistake. Go figure. The bread didn't rise, okay? But it did cook. Now, I'm going to show you. That's what we came up with. And I know exactly what I did. I think I put, when I added water, the water was too warm. And I'm pretty sure that I killed all my little guys that were supposed to help it to rise. So I still have some starter. I'm going to do one from the same batch and show you that it will rise if I don't kill them with hot liquids. But these, even though it's like freaking pound cake, I can slice these up and I can make them into French toast or something like that. And it will be fine. It'll just be, you know, really heavy. So, that's what happened there. And I haven't really looked at this one too closely. I feel like this one rose a little bit more. Like, it actually did rise a little bit. Because it's actually, like, touching the sides of the pan and whatnot. So, I don't know. It'll be fun to slice into that and see what happens. I might actually set the tripod up and do that quick. Okay, so here is, it is heavy. This is so heavy. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when it doesn't rise. It turns into a rock. But, I mean, we got some good coloring there from the cinnamon. Let's give her a slice and see what happens here. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Nice little swirls of cinnamon going through it. But you can tell how thick and heavy that is. And that it didn't rise like it should. but with a little butter, it's still really good. It's just going to be incredibly filling. But these are the trials and errors of someone in the kitchen. You know, I've spent my entire life in the kitchen. I started out doing fair projects for 4-H in the kitchen. And that was at a pretty young age. I think I was 9 when I started that. So yeah, I've been in the kitchen a lot, but I didn't do a lot of made from scratch things. I mean, my mom knows how to cook all this stuff, and she taught me, but it's just not something that I carried throughout most of my adult years. And now that I'm almost 40, these are things I want to know. I want to learn. I want to be more self-sufficient. I want to be able to make my own bread and do all the things. Let's give her a taste and see what it tastes like. Oh yeah. That tastes really good. Nothing wrong with the flavor. Just in rice. It's like pound cake. Well guys, if you made it this far, thank you for joining me for Homestead Love. I hope to see you next time. Hit that like and subscribe if you want to follow along. Bye. Love you guys. If you made it this far, thank you for joining me for Diesel Lights.
Why should you call it Diesel Lights?
Oh, you're right. It's not Diesel Lights. Alright.